Stakeholders across Nigeria are questioning why all of a sudden there seems to be less and less talk of young people taking over the mantle of political leadership in Nigeria after the 2023 general election. Such questions have continued to gain ascendancy despite the emergence of a number of young persons in this dispensation seeking to run for the office of president. But to have a conversation, we're now being joined by one of them, Dumebi Kachikwu, who has thrown his hat in the ring to become president on the platform of African Democratic Congress. Well, good morning, Dumebi. Welcome to the morning show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well,
good morning.
You're described as one of the young people. You're 48, right? You're among some of the youngest aspirants to emerge in the run-up of the elections. Now, you have said that neither your age nor your political party will discourage you from expressing your desire to rescue Nigeria. Why do you think that Nigerians will be convinced to vote against all the odds? As you know, a lot of people that are campaigning at this moment are not young. And you've also, tried to encourage other people to vote, and you're going to pay for their nomination forms, other young people. Talk to us about that.
Okay, thank you. I think what we're seeing increasingly in the body politic is that the two leading parties, APC and PDP, are having internal crisis, which will most likely lead to some form of implosion. Especially as we approach the primaries. Parties like my party, or the party I belong to, and Nigerians as a whole will benefit from this because it now gives us an opportunity to bring up new players in this political dispensation. But that will only happen if we have people who are willing to participate. You mentioned that I offered to pay for the forms of all the young people, women or disabled people who are willing to run for office. Yes, it's one of the criteria, one of the conditions I gave to the party before joining them. I said, will you make free nomination forms, and all your forms are free for people who are going to run for office, so that we can get these people interested, teach them what they need to know to run for office. They said they would. That's what I like about African Democratic Congress. And also, the first question a lot of people always ask me is, how is it possible? You know it's not possible for you to win this election because you don't have a structure, or your party does not have a structure. So let me tell you why I want these people to run. They form my structure. A structure is not offices. A structure is the ambition or the aspirations of all those who run. So the local government chairman, his aspiration, he uses it to form a local government structure. The House of Assembly person then runs or builds a structure on top of the local government chairman. The House of Assembly, the House of Rep builds on local government, on the local government and House of Assembly. Senate does the same thing. Governorship does that. The presidential aspirant then builds a layer on top of all the aspirations. That's why it's important that we get people to run for all the offices available to be run in the next election. That's how we'll build a structure, a viable structure, to contest effectively in the next elections.
Okay, Dumebi, I believe that's your opening argument, given that one of your key campaign lines is my opening argument. I would like you to expand further on what, politically speaking, in terms of the aspiration, what your opening argument is, and then speak to what you call your desire to have a new Nigeria and to serve a new menu for the country. How sumptuous will this menu be? Tell us about it.
Okay, great. Thanks, Steve. So my opening argument simply states that Nigeria as it is today is a structure. I'm a builder. It's one of the business I do. When you have a faulty foundation, you have two things. You can do two things. One is that you shore up the foundation to ensure that the building does not fail. Or if the foundation is really bad, you bring down the building. What I'm proposing is that we bring down this building, this structure called Nigeria, and start a new foundation. A foundation where we have a charter of the people, where the people come together. Well, I'm not using the archaic foundation where the colonial masters gave us. Colonial masters brought us together, and they brought us together on a table of inequity, injustice. on a table where we have North and South, where we have Christian and Muslims, right? And that's why in everything we talk about Nigeria, we talk about the things that divide us. So Nigeria was set up to fail ab initio. What I'm proposing now is that we have a new charter where all the component units, all the component parts of Nigeria agree on what is Nigeria, who are we as Nigerians. That now defines us going forward. Number two, I believe that we speak to so many things, and successive governments come and speak about things like corruption. And you speak about corruption wherein the foundation of Nigeria is corrupt. You take your minimum wage in Nigeria of about 30,000 naira, and you know in Nigeria you can barely survive on a salary of 250,000 naira. So by default, the person you're paying 30,000 naira is already corrupt. So we need to review everything concerning our foundation. Then also we need to come to a place now where we understand that we're in a contemporary world. We're in a world that's a global village, and we can't be in a world that's a global village and have people who lead us, who are people who don't understand the modern day language. You guys understand technology, you understand the language of today. We have a government that bans things like Twitter, or we say we'll ban bitcoins because we don't understand modern day financial instruments. So we can't speak the language because we keep on propping up old people who don't know what today's language is speaking to. We have a situation in Nigeria where we keep on talking about insecurity or security challenges, and we have people who don't also understand modern day security strategies, right? And we keep on doing the same thing, expecting different results, and we now live in a country where in a month or two 1,500 people die, and it's no longer news. We're now totally desensitized to all these things. We now have a people who are not feeling what is going on in their country. Everyone, it seems like we are soulless, okay? A few weeks ago, the Food and Agricultural Organization announced the new food index of 159. During the Arab Spring, it was 131. And we saw what happened. The man who lit himself up, he did that because he could not provide for his family. He was frustrated. Do you know what's going on in Nigeria today? We see these things and we seem to be desensitized. As a news organization, you know what diesel is doing to you guys now, the cost of diesel. Imagine now the common man, imagine the small business. We have a situation where we have leadership that doesn't care. The president didn't speak to these issues because it feels like we're all desensitized. Talk about education. Now let's assume this dispensation, this generation has failed. Should our children also fail? Shouldn't we defend their future? Look at countries like India who prop up platforms like Freelancer, or other countries prop up platforms like Fiverr. It's because they understand technology, they understand that you might not have oil as an export, but there are several things you can export. How can an English-speaking nation like Nigeria not be able to export services? If our youths can do Yahoo, we can do digital commerce. From Nigeria, from the comfort of your home, you can sell architectural services. You can sell a myriad of services. But you need a government who understands that this is what you can do today with technology. You need a government that understands that our export or our assets are beyond oil. The main asset we have in Nigeria are people. We need to start supporting these people. We need to start grooming these people. We need to start investing in these people. That's what my opening argument is about, is speaking to all the things we can do. We watched in the last couple of years and saw all the doctors and nurses leaving Nigeria. Our best brains were leaving because we have a country that's no longer working for them. Dr. Chinelo was killed in the train attack over a week ago. She was just about to leave Nigeria, we were told. You know, the level of insecurity here, Nigeria is not working for most people, and we keep on watching. Everyone feels like, well, you know what, it will be better. That's what we always say in Nigeria. But tell you something, I strongly believe that we are at the tipping point. If we don't get rid of these people, something is going to give sooner than later. I don't want to wake up one day and I'm driving to work and people see me on the street. I assume that this guy is affluent and then they mob me. We're getting to that point in Nigeria. What we saw during NSAS is child's play compared to what will happen very soon. We need to come together to get these people out, and that's why you have a lot of young people coming out now, but not even enough. We need more people to come out, more young people come out, women, young men to come out and run for all these offices. That's what my opening argument is about.
All right. Well, in addition to your relatively young age being something that would garner support for you, I'd imagine your ethnic background would also do the same. You'd be well aware that there have been clamorings and callings for the next president of this country to emerge from the southeast, specifically of Nigeria. What do you have to say when it comes to any support you may or may not have as it pertains to you representing that ethnic diversity that so many people have been longing for?
Okay, I look at it two ways. For the older parties who have certain agreements as regards to zoning, they will do very well to keep to those agreements. That's what they are about. But the new Nigeria we speak to, the new Nigeria we speak about, we should no longer speak about those things. If people vote me, they should vote me because I bring the best strategy, I bring the best solutions. I am the best that can lead them in this new dispensation. People should not vote for me for primordial sentiments or parochial sentiments. People should vote for me because I offer them what they need at a time like this. So I'm not someone who is given to zoning. I understand why the parties, why they did that at the time they did. And when I said that Nigeria was built on a faulty foundation where issues like zoning arose because of that faulty foundation. But going forward, you see that the youths of today, when you speak about zoning, they don't really understand what you mean by zoning. But also understand that my brothers in the Southeast who are speaking about IPOB now and leaving Nigeria, it's a zoning issue. But their issue is really about zoning or because they feel they are not a part of Nigeria. They have a repressive government that said to them, you guys are not one of us, or we don't care about your feelings, right? So in the new Nigeria, if you have leadership that is inclusive, if you have leadership that shows love to all Nigerians, irrespective of tribe, tongue, or religion, I think people will have a different take about issues like this. Every part of Nigeria has people who are competent. Every part of Nigeria has people who have what it takes to be in governance, to be in leadership, right? These people should be given the enabling platform to emerge at all levels of governance. That's what we should be doing in Nigeria today. Every country has different tribes, different religions, but they don't speak to things that divide them. They speak to things that unite them. And that's why you always find that, say in America and the UK, you have these people speaking about what their parties, what their charter is about. What do they have to offer? How does their offering affect the livelihood of the people? They speak about the middle class. What are you going to offer to the middle class to better their livelihoods? That's what people speak about. We'll still keep on going back to zoning. And when you talk about zoning now, so you now elect me on the platform of me being an Igbo man, someone from the Southeast. So you've said to me, when you get in there, my primary responsibility, first of all, is to my Igbo brothers. Everybody else comes second. That's what we said to Buhari. And that's why Buhari came and didn't care when he brought in all his people, all his brothers into governance, because we elected him knowing on the platform of, oh, you know what, it's a turn of the knot. We need to do away with this archaic approach to politics and to governance.
Well, looking at your manifesto, you've talked about supporting technology-driven education and healthcare systems, and to stop medical and education tourism abroad. You've also talked about eliminating corruption, and you would like to win the war against terrorism if voted into office. Now, how do you intend to topple your predecessors in these areas that appears to be a major challenge?
It's very simple. I'll start with security. Security is about the language you speak to your commanders in the field. They are not clear. Our commanders in the field are not clear. They look at the president's body language. They look at the body language of the people in government, people who say to you, it's okay for us to have people who are not Nigerians come into Nigeria unchecked to move around Nigeria. No one says anything to these people, and they say that they have rights. We have a presidential aspirant from Bauchi State who says to us, Fulani people are all over Africa are the same, so we're all the same. No, we're not all the same. Nigerians are Nigerians. People who are not Nigerians should not have the freedom or the latitude to move around Nigeria, destroying our way of life. So you need a president who is going to speak to these issues, who is clear in his language, in his instructions to his commanders in the field to say, you know what, take out these people. We can't have people coming into Nigeria and destroying us. They don't care about your religion. They don't care if they are killing Muslims or Christians. They don't care if you're a Fulani or Hausa. They are not us. They are not part of us. They don't understand our way of life. And that's why they hate us so much. So you need to be clear in your instruction to these people. You don't want commanders in the field who are afraid that, oh, if I take on these people, then I'll get booted out of office or I will get arrested or something. I had a situation in my farm back in that, or rather, let me even say my mother's farm. We had these headsmen going to a farm where the poor woman has spent a lot of money, destroyed the farm, camped there, and she went and reported it to the DPO there and said, this is what's happening. And he said, well, you know what's going on, you know how it is, let's just leave it and we'll manage and I'll go and speak to them. And I said to her, what do you mean I'll go and speak to them? They committed a crime. Is he going to speak to them or is he going to arrest them? But DPO was clear that he could not do anything about this. She had to reach the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner of Police said, why would DPO say that? Instructed the DPO. DPO now went and started negotiating with these people who destroyed crops worth over 10 million naira, and they were now saying, okay, we'll give her 70,000 naira. They were not arrested. That's Nigeria for you. How can we have that kind of situation? Tell you what, right? We're seeing soaring food prices all over the world. Nigeria is even worse. Our people are not farming because we have foreign invaders who have taken over our farms. And our security people are calling these places ungoverned spaces, ungoverned territory, because they are not clear on their instructions. Today you hear that, oh, they've closed a flank, say in Yobe State. When they close one flank, another flank is open. So you have twin problems. You have people who are in the business of defense contracts who benefit from this, and you have these evil people who don't care. They are in here and they want to destroy our way of life. We have to be clear on our instructions to our commanders. We need to take this war to these people. We need to take this war to their camps. We are Nigerians. We are Nigerians who've won wars in other places, who've maintained peace in other places. We can do the same here. I will arm every man, woman, and child who is willing and who is able to go out there and destroy these people. I will avenge all my soldiers in the field. I will avenge every Nigerian life. We cannot tolerate this rubbish. This is happening because the body language of the CNC is not clear. That's why this is happening. What does it take? The ISIS commander who was killed, modern day technology. Our people are flying Mickey Mouse drones around that media organizations are using. How did Kaduna train bombing happen? And you heard a clueless minister speaking about, oh, some digital stuff he's going to do for 3 billion. He didn't even understand what he was speaking to. How can we continue like this? How do you have a situation where you don't have radar? This is Abuja, the seat of government. You don't have radar technology that can see night and day to tell you the movement of people. How does that make sense?
All right.
We can't continue like this. We know what needs to be done, and we can do that.
Well, all right.
I'm sorry if I sound upset or agitated, but it's the carnage is annoying,
Well, thank you very much, Dumebi, for joining us on the morning show this morning. We wish you good luck.